my channel. I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, dark romance, Indian romances, any kind of genre and romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy. And it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to talk about overhyped, underhyped, or worth the hype books. And I got this video idea from watching Sam from Sam Reads a Little, Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl, Tori from Novel Life, Jess at Peaceful Books, Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life, McKay from Oh Hey It's McKay, Caitlin the Love Librarian, and Nikki from Nikki and Bookland. I'll link all their channels down below in the description. Let's start with my overhyped books. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. It's the follow-up to It Ends With Us. And I think It Ends With Us could have just been a standalone. It Starts With Us. I heard from multiple people it was just one big epilogue. And I'm not interested in reading it because I think, in my opinion, she just did it for the TikTok fans who discovered her books. So I think she did it and it was just a cash grab to her. Plus, with all the controversy she's getting in Instagram right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please look it up. But it makes me not want to read it. It Ends With Us even more. I mean, It Starts With Us even more. It makes me not want to read it because of her current project that she's working on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go look on Instagram. It's all over the internet. But what I'm going to say about it is you do not romanticize domestic violence and domestic abuse. You just do not romanticize it, in my opinion. And I won't be reading her books, her future books, anymore. And this is just my personal opinion. The next book I think is overhyped is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, the second book in her Dreamland Billionaire series. I liked the first book a lot. I did not like the second book. I thought the hero was too mean to the heroine. He did something not very nice to her, like he humiliated her in front of people when he knew something about her. Like, she told him that she has dyslexia, and he knew about it. And there's a point in the book where she gets humiliated in front of people, and I just didn't like that aspect of the book. And he groveled, but I don't think he groveled enough. I just didn't like the hero. That's why I didn't like this book. But I am interested in book 3, The Last Brothers book, because throughout the whole series, I really like the third brother, so I am interested in the final offer I just did not like this book, and I don't understand why it's so popular. Also, I know there are supposed to be an interracial couple, but I think there are other authors who write diverse couples better, in my opinion. I don't like the word choices, like the word she used to describe Iris. Like, she kept reminding us that she is African American when we didn't need to be reminded. And I think other authors have done this topic better, wrote this topic better than Lauren Asher did. Now let's get to my underhyped books. One book that I think is so underhyped in 2022 is Between Hello and Goodbye by Emma Scott. It is about Faith and Asher. Faith, the job, calls her in one day and tells her, look, we really want to promote you, but you have to figure out what you want. You can't come to work late. You can't come to work late every day. You're always drunk. You need to figure out what you want. So she takes this vacation to Hawaii. She goes on a hike one day, and something happens. I think something happens with her slippers, and the firefighters get called in because she gets to an accident on the hike, and our main hero, Asher, is the firefighter. And Emma, and then Asher and Emma form this friendship, and Emma tells Asher she has sworn off men. She's here just for a vacation, although she's not enjoying her vacation. And Asher makes it his mission to make Faith like the rest of the trip. But as they spend time together, their emotional connection and their physical connection is really hard for them to deny. So they give into their feelings, and they try this long distance relationship thing because Asher, his family is in Hawaii, like his brother, his sister-in-law, and his nephew, and he doesn't want to leave. And Faith, her job is in New York. Her best friend is in New York. So they try to make their relationship work. And all I can say is Asher and Faith's romance is beautiful. And they are soulmates. Asher and Faith are soulmates. If you have not read this book, please read this book. I'll link it's in my top 10 romances of 2022. Please, I'll link that down. I'll link that video down below in the description. Please go watch it. I explain more in my video. Next we have the other underhyped book, and my other underhyped book is In the Weeds by B.K. Borson. A lot of people talk about Love Life Farms, and Love Life Farms is a good book. I gave it 4 stars, but I loved In the Weeds. In the Weeds is about Beckett, and I always forget the heroine's name, but Beckett is the farmer in Lovelight Farms, and the heroine is the social media influencer from book 1. It's a second chance romance, and I love this book because of Beckett. He is the type of person who will give you the shirt off his back if you need it. He steps in for his family when his dad gets into a work accident at the farm. He quit school. He gave up his dream to become an astronaut. And he loves animals. And he's neurodivergent. And Stella is the girl in the first book. I can't remember the heroine's name. And the heroine is just fed up with being a media influencer, and she wants to know what she really wants to do with her life, and it's their second chance romance. Please go read it in the weeds. It's so good. It has so many good life quotes. Highlighted so much in my Kindle. Beckett's dad is in a wheelchair. He's just so swoony. It is my favorite book in the series. Please go read Lovelight Farms. It is all. Now we're gonna talk about my worth the hype books. And of course, my worth the hype book would be Heartless by Elsie Silver. It's a single dad nanny romance. It's about Kate Easton and Willa Grant. I talk about this a lot in my the way Willa helps Kate grow his confidence. It's so brilliant to see, and the way that Kate assures Willa that she doesn't have to have everything figured out about her professional career, that she's fine the way she is, and she doesn't have to worry about where her career is going. She'll find what she wants to do eventually. The way they are there for each other and the way they love Luke. It's just so swoon-worthy. If you haven't read Heartless by Elsie Silver, what are you doing? I am currently listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook is very good. Another book that is worth the hype for me is Mile High by Liz Tom Ford, and it is a romance between a hockey player and his flight attendant. It is about Xander and Stevie, and they get off to the wrong foot when Xander assumes Stevie is his groupie, when she really just wants to do the exit check on the plane. But this book is so good. The way Xander's makes Stevie feel more confident in herself, about her body, about her looks, is so beautiful. And the way Stevie assures Xander's that he is loved, because Xander's mom abandoned the family when he was a teenager, so he has abandonment issues, and the way Landers and Stevie lift each other up, and heal each other from their past trauma is so beautiful to see. I talk more about that in my favorites video. Please go watch it if you haven't seen my top 10 favorites of 2022. I'll link it down below in the description. But yeah, My High is definitely worth the hype. Those are all the books I chose for this video. Please, I'll link the channels I talk about in the video down below in the description. I also linked my top 10 favorites of 2022. My top 10 romance books of 2022. I'll link that video down below in the description because I talk a lot about my favorite books. And if you want to know more about My High, Heartless, Between Hello and Goodbye, and In the Weeds, please go check this video out. And please go check out the other videos from the other YouTube creators I mentioned in this video. I would really love it if you would subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see you Monday. Bye.